So, but as far as blurring, nah, that's cap. I don't feel blurred. ABH came out with a new foundation and I figured, you know what, I gotta get ready for church. Let's test her out. I've actually been testing it out on clients at work, so it's been interesting. We'll get into all that, but let's just go ahead and get this on my face. So I'm going to be using the shade 6W. I did not buy the foundation because I don't need a new foundation, and I'm willing to bet that 98% of y'all that are watching this don't need a new foundation either. However, that's okay. Maybe for the ones that are looking for a foundation, or if you're just curious, because I mean, I'm makeup nosy, you want to see what's up. So I'm going to give y'all my professional advice. Skin's already prepped. How do I prep my skin? In the morning, cleanse my face, put my moisturizer on. That's my skin prep, all right? I don't do like any primers for longevity or anything like that. That's not my vibe. That's not how I do my makeup or my clients. I did use the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Balm. I like this for texture purposes. So if you are someone who has large pores, I'm good with that. But as far as like primers to make your foundation last longer, I'm like, if it already has claims of like 12-hour wear, 16-hour wear, it's like, come on, fam. Like, it is 2025. All right, so I will go ahead and tell you the ABH rep was there on launch day. For those of you who are new here, I'm Amber. I'm a professional makeup artist and hairstylist. I've been in the beauty industry for 12 years. My specialties are hair color, makeup artistry, natural hair, curly hair, and I'm also a makeup artist at Sephora. So on launch day, the rep was there and she asked my opinion, and I told her, well, you know, the front end along with the back end needs a lot of work. So they start off good once they kind of get into that 3 range, right? So you get 3 and 3W, 4 and 5, and you know, they have different undertones. Then once they get to 6, it's, you have your 6W, then it's 7 and 8 and 9 and this is something that's very common. A lot of brands, it's like once they get towards the end, they give up, and I have yet to figure out why. So this is a Sonia G flat top kabuki brush. You use whatever you want. I have not, like I said, I have not used this on myself before. I have only tested it out on clients, but I told her, I told her, you need to go ahead and tell Claudia and them that we need some more deeper shades. But I was very, very, you know, strategic about the ones that I told her. I said, the issue is most of the time what y'all do is you will give us these shades that are just so red, especially when you get down to like the deeper, darker skin tones. I just told her professionally, what is missing is neutral warm. We don't want to be orange. We don't want to be red. We need neutral warm, right? So I told her, if you can get like a good neutral warm, realistically, a neutral golden, that would be the vibe. Okay, so this blends out like a dream. I love the consistency of it. It is definitely, I'm sorry y'all, Lo was in the shower and he is having a full-blown praise and worship moment. So if you hear some howling in the background, if it sounds like somebody is hurt, he's not hurt, he's just having a spiritual moment. Oh God. Okay, but it blends out like a dream. It is a soft matte foundation, which I can appreciate that because I know for me, I'm at a place in my life where I don't want anything that's super matte, but I also don't want anything that's going to be crazy like glowy or dewy either. I will say this, and this is something I've been telling my clients that do have drier skin, because it is a soft matte, you want to make sure that the skin is extra hydrated, and also maybe using a beauty blender to blend it out, just simply because I've been finding on my dry skin clients when I work on them, sometimes with brushes it can just kind of exfoliate. I should have brought y'all in closer, my bad. It can kind of exfoliate and make the skin flake, and you think, oh my gosh, the foundation's a bad foundation, it's flaking. It's like, no, it's just your skin. And for a lot of times, and this is just from feedback from listening to my clients at Sephora, when people are having issues with foundation, I'm realizing 9 times out of 10, it ain't even the foundation, it's your skin. If you aren't properly taking care of your skin, if your skin's not prepped, if you haven't exfoliated and you try to put a foundation on, it's just not going to look good. So this is how we're looking. I love the finish. Just for kicks and giggles, I am. Let's go with a tish a bit more. As far as the shade, I'm not mad at the shade. Is it my most perfect match? Is it the most beautiful shade I've ever seen on me? No. Is it terrible? No, it is not. So I'm just gonna put a little bit more on just for kicks and giggles, just to see like how much can we build up. Yeah, it's for sure, it's, yeah, medium coverage. So I put quite a bit on this cheek area to see, it's a good medium coverage. So if you are someone who is wanting a full coverage, it's not gonna give you full coverage. Like I can still see a little bit of my imperfections, which is fine, I like medium coverage because they just look more like skin-like. And I think for today, I am gonna skip concealer and I am gonna pull this up under my eyeballs as well. So let me grab a brush. If you're new here, I've been on this like screw concealer kick. I don't hate concealer, like that's not what I'm saying, but just as of late, working on clients and stuff, and I know a lot of it too is just like it's cold outside, the weather is drier, and I've just been finding that foundation under the eyes just sits better, especially on drier skin, especially on like more mature clients. I find that it just sits better under the eyes than a concealer does. So that's why I've been doing that. Now, of course, if you're someone who wants that like super uber like brightening effect under your eyes, then, you know, you probably want to use something lighter. And so what I would do in this instance is I would just grab a little bit of that lighter concealer and only put it on the inner corner. But for me in my house, this is what I've been doing. Or you can use a brightening powder. I actually have this purple powder by Huda, but that's going to be for another video. That's not today. The focus is this. All right, so here is what we're looking like. I'm going to put on my other products real quick and then we'll be back. I'm going to play with this contour today. So I am going to church, so I don't want to put too much stuff on, but, and if y'all want to see this in action, you got to stay tuned for the next video. Mwahaha, that's evil, huh? This is the new Rare Beauty liquid contours. Okay, fam, so here's what we're looking like. I'll have y'all zoom in. So I have the ABH foundation on in 6W. I set my under eyes with the Huda Beauty purple powder. Remember, I don't have any concealer on. I set my whole face with the Huda Beauty in Kunufa. And then I went in with the Rare Beauty, the new liquid contours. Don't worry, I'm gonna have videos and content on all of this. And this blush is a banger. I knew it was gonna be a banger. This is the new Patrick Ta blush in the shade She Knows Who She Is, and it is stunning. Brows, oh yeah, I used this Benefit brow. Today's not a good brow day. I've been using it and I like it, but today probably because I'm in a rush, so things are just, you know how it is when you're in a rush. And no eyeshadow because we're going to church. We're gonna cry. That's just what it is. And waterproof mascara. So let's go to church and we'll do some check-ins and see how she holds up. All right, so it is now 3 o'clock. This has been on my face since 9, so we got a good 6 hours. Church today, yeah, we put this bad boy through the ringer. There were 2 major breakthroughs today. Thank you, Jesus. 1 for myself, 1 for my husband. My husband's came first and then mine came right after that. But yeah, so basically what I'm saying is lots and lots of tears. And what I will say is that this one, so here's the thing. People are always asking, is it transfer proof? Nothing is transfer proof. Like you're putting a liquid on your face. Now, are there some things that maybe don't budge as much? Absolutely. Maybe this one budged. Okay, because even as I was blotting my face from my tears, I was like, oh, okay, we've budged a lot. But outside of that, this is what my face is looking like. I have not blotted my face all day long. I don't feel like I look crazy greasy or anything. It is not hot outside. I think it might be like, what, 40 degrees today? So not hot, no humidity, no anything. One thing I will say about this is, I don't know what it is, but I just feel like this foundation emphasizes my texture. Like I got y'all all up in my business now, but like, I don't know. I just feel like it emphasized my texture. Again, doesn't look horrible. Everything looks smooth. The color is not bad. You know, like the color isn't one where I feel like, oh my gosh, like this is just like the most beautiful foundation color shade, but it's not bad. Like I feel like it matches, it looks like me, but the texture thing, but also I don't want to put that solely on this foundation because where I am in my life, that is one of the reasons why I backed away from wearing foundation, was because I just didn't care for how it was sitting on my face. I just felt like it made my skin look worse, and that my skin honestly looks better without it. Now, if I do wear a foundation, I'll do my Urban Decay Face Bond, which is amazing, or the Dior Forever Nude, which, hey, they are discontinuing. I know that's not what we're here for, but my girl Christina actually left me a message on my video for my throwing away my makeup, because I threw away a bunch of my makeup, my professional stuff, and then my own personal things. But let me find the comment that Christina left me. There it is. She said, will you please do a wear test for the new Dior Forever Hydra Nude Foundation and tell us how it compares to the other Dior foundation that was discontinued in your shade? So this is like my all-time favorite foundation of life, right? This is the Dior Forever Natural Nude. Yes, we're off topic. If you're new here, stay with me, okay? Just stay. This is the most beautiful foundation I've ever put on my face. I love the consistency. I love how it makes my skin look. It's not full coverage, it's medium coverage. The shade, Impeccable, right? So I'm the shade 5N. When I went to go find it to try to repurchase, because mine is running low, they stopped making shade 5N. They had all the other shades, but 5N. So since Christina left me that comment today, I took my little self over to Ulta, because this is exclusive to Ulta. We don't have this at Sephora. And I saw that they only have this now online at Ulta, which is where I purchased it from, 4 shades. So they're discontinuing this whole thing. So I guess that's why 5N wasn't available. So my guess is 5N was the first one to run out. Maybe it was the most popular shade for it, but they are replacing it with the Forever Hydra Nude, which is what Christina was asking me to compare this to. So we'll probably do that. But anywho, I like how this sits on my face, and I like how my Urban Decay Face Bond sits on my face. This though, again, it's not bad, but like I stated, just, it's not terrible, but I'm not like, wow, blown away. So now let's talk about the specs for this foundation. I have used this on clients. I like how it looks. It blends out smooth. It's beautiful. I like that it's medium coverage. I unfortunately haven't had the opportunity to use the darker shades, just simply because for my darker clients that I have had, it didn't match them. And I also unfortunately haven't had any fair skinned clients try it on either, because, well, it was lacking. I couldn't find a shade match. So that's one thing that is a hang up with this. The shade range. The thing is, they're already aware that it needs work. And I think the thing is that sometimes consumers forget is when people start going crazy, like, oh, this is a trash shade range. Do y'all know how difficult it is to do foundations, like when you really think about it? And I think sometimes people don't give brands enough grace. I will always give grace to a brand, especially when it's a brand that has already proven that, hey, we're here, we're being inclusive, we got all the you know what I mean? Like ABH has never struck me as a brand that isn't an inclusive brand. And when I say inclusive, meaning that they aren't intentionally trying to leave out a certain shade range or a certain demographic. That is not the vibe I've ever gotten for them. So that's why I'm able to have some grace. Now there are some brands that do that on a regular basis, and those are the ones I feel you need to pay attention to, because they're telling you loud and clear who they're for and who they aren't. Anywho, I digress. First spec for this: long wearing, non-comedogenic, cruelty-free, vegan, matte finish. I wouldn't call this a solid like hardcore matte finish. This is what I call soft matte, and I think this might be a foundation where it might be okay on dry skin. Again, you want to make sure that the skin is prepped like perfection. I mean, regardless if you have dry skin and you're using a foundation that is more hydrating, either way, if your skin is not prepped, no foundation is going to look good, all right? So a medium to full coverage velvet matte, there we go. Velvet Matte Foundation with non-comedogenic formula that perfects the skin with a blurring second skin finish up to 12 hours. I do not agree with the blurring effect whatsoever. Not on my skin, but also what we have to keep in mind is everything ain't for everybody either, because I think sometimes some people will deem something bad because it didn't work for them. I don't have that mindset. There are some products that just simply don't work on me, but I use them on my clients because it fits that client's need. It fits their skin concern. It fits that person's undertone, shade range, whatever the case may be, right? So, but as far as blurring, nah, that's cap. I don't feel blurred. And I know y'all are probably thinking, oh, it looks blurred to me, but keep in mind, like I'm sitting in front of a big old light, and then I've got some natural light as well. Let me turn my ring light off. Okay, that's too dark. Okay, so Amber P thoughts. I feel like this intensifies my texture, so that is problematic to me, but also I feel like that's why I stopped wearing a lot of foundation anyway, because I just didn't like the way that it was looking on my skin. Is this blurring? No. Is the shade match good? It's a pretty shade match. Is it like, oh my gosh, blowing me away the foundation as a whole? No, but if we are a shade twin, 6W is going to be the match for you. Is this something I would purchase? No, I don't think it's like amazing, knock your socks off. Do I think it's pretty? Yes, it's a basic foundation. Nothing innovative here. Like I stated already, do they still need work with the shades? Absolutely, but it's not anything that I'm gonna like, say, oh man, we gotta cancel them and boycott them, because, the beauty world loves to do that. But those are my thoughts on it. Let me know, have you tried it? Are you gonna try it? I love how it goes onto the skin. It's super easy to apply. Every time I've used it on a client, and even using it on myself, very easy to apply. It doesn't have a fast dry down time. It doesn't have a fast dry down time either. So if you are someone who maybe just like a little bit slower in the blending process, you don't have to worry about it getting stuck in that one area. So tell me y'all's thoughts down below. Have you tried it? Do you like it? Are you gonna try it? Were you wowed? Were you underwhelmed? Or was it just I? Okay, so thank y'all so much for watching. Cast one more net.